straight from the darkness and into your hearts. This is the Matt Bolus Podcast.
Are we doing one? We're doing a Matt Bolus?
You gotta tell the people what you did on the 4th.
Oh shit, the 4th. Fuck man, I don't even know. What's up, Braj and Brajettes? Braj, I don't even know if I'm allowed to talk about what happened on the fucking 4th. Yo, what's up, Braj and Brajettes? This is Matt Bolus, the Matt Bolus Podcast. I'm sitting here with Dusty Hawkins, the host of the Matt Bolus Podcast. About to talk about my 4th of July extravaganza at Lake Winnepesaukah. Only got to spend a quarter of the day with Dusty because Dusty got accidentally thrown out of the park by the management and establishment owners.
As you know, we were at the Lake Winnepesaukah 118th birthday of the Cannonball Stranger Things Season 3 premiere Bobbin' for Chunga Silent Disco
Karaoke Teriyaki
Race for the Cure. We are trying to cure homosexuality here on the Matt Bolus Podcast. What a time. What a time.
We ended up raising about $20,000 for a great cause. Wait, what was the cause?
To stop homosexuality.
That was it? But Dusty, I thought you was gay, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, and I need it to stop.
Whose idea?
It was my idea.
You know what? I'm not even going there. We were able to raise $20,000 for that fucking awesome charity that Matt Bolus had no idea really what it's about. But since the Matt Bolus Podcast endorses it, I endorse it too. And I'm with my buddy Dusty as always.
We broke the record. The most consecutive rides on the boat shoot. Matt Bolus and I, hand in hand, in that tunnel, 212 times. We had such a good time.
It was awesome, Dusty. Raj, y'all, I only rode it about 100 times with him because, goddamn, it got to a point where it was like, man, this is fucking boring. Why am I doing this?
I was having a great time. I took 3 grams of Molly.
You could not stay seated. I remember every time you would come down, we would all be like, whoa, is he going to fall this time? Is he going to fall? Is he going to fall? He couldn't stay seated. He could not stay seated.
I couldn't stop dancing. I was so happy. I had the joy of the Lord in my heart and 3 grams of Molly in my bloodstream. It was a great time.
Are you going to go into why you got thrown out a quarter of the way of the day?
We will, but we're going to recap some adventures. First thing we do, Matt Bolus drove.
I drove.
Because I was high on Molly.
Dusty was on Molly. We couldn't... He took... When did you take it? He took it like, what, 30... About an hour? Oh, hell, before we even left, Dusty was on Molly.
And I made him listen to the Spice Girls the entire way down. The same 3 songs. Over and over. And I sang those songs most of the day. I still dream about them.
Sorry, I still have acid reflux from all that fucking Spice Girls.
So we walk into the park, and the first thing on our left, what do we see?
First thing we did was we met up with one of our fans. What was his name?
I don't remember. I was on drugs. If we're going to sit here and act like you weren't sort of on drugs too, I think that would be dishonest to our fan base.
No, I was high as a fucking kite.
I think that would be dishonest.
I think the fans know by now that I smoke weed. We met up with that fan. One of the fans. We had a fan meet up. We rode the genie with the fan, remember?
They dared me to ride the genie with no strap on.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, who's going to hold this big rubber dick then?
I remember looking to my left as the genie. And I remember who's going to hold this dick? We're fucking fully up and that thing is spinning. I turn over and I look. Dusty, you know how that gravity works on that damn ride? Dusty is somehow shimmying his way to another seat. As if the one he was in, like his standing seat, was as if it wasn't good enough.
It just didn't have the right vibe for me. It didn't have the right vibe.
A lot of the things at Lake Winnie that day just were not settling well with you, vibe-wise.
No, bad vibes. Bad vibes. Then we got off of that.
We went straight for the tent. I remember that. We had to go straight to the tent to check in with the management and all that. We went straight for the tent. Now, the tent this year was located next to, remember the goldfish stand? We were able to get it right back where we got it 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. Right there next to the goldfish stand. So that was pretty neat.
That was great.
And it didn't burn down this year. The tent didn't burn down. We didn't have any paddle boat accidents.
We had a fire-retarded tent.
Yes, we did. Now, I broke my record. I broke the record of mini rides on the haunted house. I rode it 3 times straight.
In memory of Dale Earnhardt.
In memory of Dale.
My favorite part of the day is when we decided to go have lunch. I'm there with Matt, and there's this plate of spaghetti. And I noticed that Matt wasn't talking a lot. And I was like, Matt, what's wrong? And then I've noticed that it wasn't Matt. It was a cardboard cutout, and I was in the trash. I was asked to leave, and I said, no, I will not leave, and I ran. And that is the beginning of the 2-hour hide-and-seek game that I played with Lake Winnipesaukee Security.
Now that's what Dusty remembers. What I'm about to do is go into full detail of what happened. So we decided to go eat. We had teriyaki karaoke going on. We had bobbing for quesadillas.
Bobbing for chongas.
Bombing for chimichangas. But that's for the fans. That was for the fans. So me and Dusty, we decided, by Lake Winnipesaukee's permission, they said, hey, we're going to feed you guys. So I went over and had the delectable Lake Winnipesaukeee Awful Waffle Joffle Burger that they have there. Because, they just recently opened up an Awful Waffle at the Lake Winnie.
And it makes me so horny.
And, dude, I can't believe it.
The Awful Waffle from the Waffle Joffle makes me wet.
Dude, when we went in there, look, we were just expecting Lake Winnie. Boom. Awful Joffle. We were like, wait a minute. We're not even allowed.
At the Waffle Joffle.
On Gun Barrel. But here... boom. We were allowed. And we got free awful
waffles from the Waffle Joffle. Make me wet. So
they're putting cheese on them now. They're putting cheese on them.
It comes with a warning.
They're putting cheese on them now.
Warning, cheese.
It's really good. Toaster strudel cheese. That's what they call it. Toaster strudel cheese. It's like a creamy cheese. It's like a cream cheese, like nacho cheese mix. It's fucking great stuff. Well, anyway, we go over there and we're eating our Awful Waffle burgers with that new creamy toaster strudel cheese, and we're eating them. And then Dusty just goes, "Oh, my stomach."
So I was like, "Ooh, everybody's had some of this before me." So I run.
You looked at me and you go, "Oh, what is this?" And you went, but when you put your hand in front of your face. And it just, like a little bit, squeezes through the hand. That's what had happened. You went straight right next to the tent. Right where all the goldfish are. And where the fish are in the pond, in the lake. You just went. That's not what got you kicked out, remember?
No, that was the beginning of the...
That was the beginning of the end.
That was the beginning.
Your quarter of a day at Lake Winnipesaukeee.
I do remember going and buying... some sort of drug from this carny. He's like, "Hey man, you want a needle?"
At the Tilt-A-Whirl.
And I was like, "Yeah, give me that needle."
See,
so we both got on the Tilt-A-Whirl.
You got on the Tilt-A-Whirl.
And we both did.
Both? No, you and the dealer.
And he shot me up.
He did.
And then we were on there what felt like forever.
He broke the needle off in your arm. Remember?
Yeah. I remember.
And it fucking freaked you out because it went inside your arm, and you were like, "Oh, I can't find it." And I was sitting on the other side, like, "Why were you doing that in the first place?"
And the guy said,
"It's all right, man. It was clean when I used it."
That's exactly what he said.
And then we were on there forever because his dumb ass didn't realize how's he going to stop it?
Yeah,
how's he going to stop
it? So about 30 minutes later, the EMTs came. Dusty told the EMTs what was going on. They got the needle out of his arm. It was fine. They put a strap on his arm. It was fine and good. But that's not what got Dusty kicked out at Lake Winnipesaukeee a quarter of the way in.
Spoiler alert, I came back. But yeah, Matt, go ahead and tell him.
He came back.
What happened?
It was coming up time for my 118-year anniversary cannonball ride. So I got on the cannonball. As I was going up, now you're going to have to get, this is all I saw of it. I've heard other things, I've heard multiple things, but this is what I saw. Because remember, I was up there meeting people, talking about they gave me the microphone, I talked about the 118th anniversary, how the same nails that were nailed in 118 years ago are still the same nails that are nailed in today in the year 2019. We're riding this wooden roller coaster. And I'm going up the ramp on the roller coaster. And what do I see down below? When you're up on that ramp, you can see towards the left, you can see the back entrance to Lake Winnipesaukeee. And what do I see? Bare-ass Dusty Hawkins being escorted by Lake Winnipesaukeee police outside. That's all I saw of it. Now, I've heard other things.
I found a man.
I heard other things that were going on that were conspicuous activities or maybe something.
I remember I found the man. I started fucking the
I
guy.
heard something about the planes.
And he looks
Now
at me.
the planes, right? That's what I heard. The plane ride, the little plane ride that you can get in, and I heard it was you and another guy in one of the planes, right there next to the back entrance.
He looked at me and he said,
You fuck so tall.
I was like, what the fuck does that mean? What the fuck does that mean? What the fuck does that mean? And I started causing a commotion. I got escorted out. He got to stay because he is.
You want to know
he's
something?
Andy Burke's nephew. He got to stay because he's Andy Burke's nephew. So I had to leave. All Andy Burke's nephew had to do was wipe me off his face and then go back and enjoy his day. I had to swim back in through the fish pond.
And you were naked.
I was naked.
You didn't have any clothes.
And then I bought clothes from the gift shop. I was like, excuse me.
I remember because there was a medium shirt you were wearing.
It's too
They didn't
small.
have any.
I'm a 3. I can't wear a
Yeah,
medium.
they didn't have any of the other sizes. You know what's the most unbelievable part about that whole story?
What?
Was that Andy Burke's nephew's a big guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a big boy.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's like Samoan or part Samoan.
Mm-hmm.
How the hell did you two fit in one of those planes?
Well, being the mayor of Chattanooga has its perks, and being the mayor of Chattanooga's nephew also has perks. I think his name was Greg. Greg put on a special attachment, and it was just a big plus size boys to get in there and have a good time. I mean, I'll never talk to him again. Like I said, all he had to do was wipe
I'm
me off
glad
his
you were
face.
able to get back in time for the fireworks.
Oh, it was so good. And Stranger Things Season 3 premiere.
It was pretty funny. Me and Dusty had this moment at Lake Winnie where we found each other again. And you gotta think about it. Dusty's wearing like these pink short shorts. Because that's all they had in the gift shop were like these women's extra large short shorts.
And these teal t-shirt that said Lake Winnipesaukee.
It was a medium size. He's looking at me. I have a bandage on my head from when the cannonball. Y'all don't even know. We're going into Dusty's thing, but long story short, I was doing the 118th anniversary ride of the Cannonball. When it came back around, it came up off the tracks, a part of my belt, the belt thing that keeps you in the bar. It came loose a little bit, and my head kind of scraped that top part at the very end. When it comes up at the very end, my head kind of just scraped it a little bit, but it was okay. The medics were there. They bandaged me up. So we kind of had a moment where we met again and looked each other over and said, well, what the fuck happened to you? You know, that was funny as hell. I would have taken the cannonball being almost decapitated over your story.
It was not the best of times. It definitely was not the worst of times. And then the sun starts to go down. We do a live Q&A during the Stranger Things Season 3 premiere. Yeah. And the show took a weird twist. I don't understand. Okay, the boy with no teeth, the boy that went to the Upside Down, and 11. In the first episode, they're crossing the street talking about Dungeons and Dragons. They get hit by, spoiler warning, they get hit by a car and all die in the first episode. Yeah. Nothing to do with the Upside Down.
Well, yeah, and it's not even that they get hit by the car. It's like who was driving the car.
Mm-hmm. This season's not even. This season,
this fucking douchebag brother.
Yeah.
And he kills 3 of them right out. First 5 minutes.
First 5 minutes. So we're trying to have this Q&A, and everybody's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, we're just up there trying to talk,
and we're like, "Hey, we're trying to talk here," and then it got a little bit out of hand.
It got weird, awkward, silent.
So we went. We calmed down. We smoked a little drugs. We came back out, and we did the ceremony for the fireworks.
And then that's when things took a turn for the worse.
Yeah, you think there's been turns before, but this is where it gets really, really, really bad.
Now, when we bought the tent, we were told it was fire retardant. But then on further inspection of the tent, we found out it was fire retarded, which meant that it was actually more flammable than any other fabric out there.
It was practically made of dryer lint.
Guess where we had all the fireworks stored, Dust?
In the tent.
Boom. Boom, booms. Boom. Boom, booms. Boom. Boom, booms. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Not only did the Matt Bolus podcast tent go up in flames this year,
but Lake Winnipesaukee is going to be closed for a long time.
And the Matt Bolus podcast tent blew up, injuring like 20 people.
And 100 fish.
All those fish were upside down.
They're dead.
Like the gases.
It's over.
The sulfur that leaked into the lake.
So, it goes without saying that the Matt Bolus podcast, fortunately, this is the season finale of the Matt Bolus podcast, but the Matt Bolus podcast is going to be tied up in litigation.
By law, this is the season finale of season 5.
Season 4.
Season 4.
It's been a hell of a ride. It's been a hell of a time. It's been one of the best seasons of my life. I've never been happier. I've never been more sexually active. And I've never been happier to sit beside Matt while being sexually active.
I'm glad you got to fulfill a fantasy of yours at Lake Winnipesaukee, even though it jeopardized the podcast, it jeopardized our careers, and I can't wait to see you on Jeopardy!
I will be on Jeopardy! In the fall. It's going to be good. I've been reading...
You've always wanted to meet Alex Trebek. I know you're a big Alex Trebek fan.
In preparation for Jeopardy! I have read a book.
Have you?
The first time I read a book. So I think I'm ready.
What book?
The Bible.
The Bible? You've been reading the Bible?
Reading the Bible.
I know that Jeopardy deals a lot in the Bible, so you'll be good.
Who is Jesus Christ? I'm just practicing because I know that's going to be the answer. The Matt Bolus podcast will return for season 5, but we don't know when. We have court, we have litigation, we have crinkly paper. Crinkly paper.
In the trash.
There's a lot more on the way for you. And...
Brages and Bragettes, just chill out.
If I go to jail, I will continue to do this from prison.
Well, all I know is, Dusty, someone's going to have to take the fall for Lake Winnie.
I know, and it's...
And the last 2 times, we put it either on Todd or Tad or whoever the hell was our fucking intern at the time or whoever the fuck is our producer at the time.
They've got cameras now. It's on me. It's on me. And plus, my DNA is all over Andy Burke's car now.
Well, when you have to call in, and I'm sorry to even mention this because I'm kind of going off character and I'm going off key, but when you have to call in the jaws of life to get someone out of an amusement park ride because they're stuck in another person, then yeah, there's going to be legal action. There's going to be legal repercussions.
Not even my lowest point.
You just go ahead, just turn off the mic.
That's not even my lowest point.
Just turn it off and let's have this talk. Because
if I go to jail, we will continue to do this podcast. I will do it. I will give you my one phone call, and we will record the Matt Bolus podcast. I promise you. Am I a drug addict? Yes. Do I have an unquenchable thirst for cock? Yes. But I have a work ethic that is...
Dusty, you have a work ethic uncomparable to most in this field, in podcasting. I can give you that for sure. Now, you know me. You know my public persona on the podcast. What's up, Brages and Brochettes? All that bullshit aside. You know I'm in your corner. You know I'm in your corner about this Lake Winnipesaukee. You were in my corner about Hardee's. Mm-hmm. You were in my corner about Bilo and the Food City Takeover. Mm-hmm. You were in my corner about Netflix. Mm-hmm. You've been in my corner this entire time. Mm-hmm. I would be a piece of shit partner if I a partner in podcasting, if I wasn't in your corner now, sir.
I'm going to jail.
I know.
I'm going to jail.
We'll be there for you.
Handshake.
Thank
you for listening to season 4 of the Matt Bolus podcast. We'll see you on season 5.
We'll see you later, Brages and Bragettes. Y'all take it easy, Brages.
This has been a production of the Chattanooga Podcast Network.